Hello, 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 beautiful people. This is Ms.B, the goddess of empathy. The name is for you, but the title is for me. You can just call me Ms.B. I want to come to you with a quick story time. If you feel my vibe, please like and subscribe. So I come to you with a quick story time. Approximately 3 weeks ago, I went with a friend to the pharmacy. And while they were in the pharmacist, I was waiting in the car, and a homeless person walked by. And as they were approaching the car, I said, "Oh God, I hope they don't come over here asking me for no money." And as soon as the person started to say, "Excuse me, miss," I said, "No, I can't help you." So the person proceeded to go to the next car that was parked in front of me. And I noticed the person who was in the car, who was driving the car. I just noticed them from around just church conventions, and I used to work with him years ago when I worked at McDonald's. And his name is Clifton. So if you guys know Clifton from Albany, give him a shout out. So Clifton went into the trunk of his car and pulled out a container of water and gave it to the gentleman. And I felt this small. So fast forward, day before yesterday, I take a walk, and I want to walk up and down Central Avenue just to see, because Central Avenue was looted and rioted in Albany, just to take a look and see, the after effects, because since the riots I didn't have the chance to go out there because I worked so much. And I'm walking past a restaurant, Hispanic restaurant, and a young gentleman comes up to me and he says, "Excuse me, miss, can you buy me something to eat?" And I said, "Sure, what do you want?" So he told me what he wanted, and it was a list of things. So I couldn't remember all that. So I said, "Well, come in the store with me and tell me what you want. Come in the restaurant with me." So he comes in the restaurant with me, and the women who are entrepreneurs, women of color, Latino women, "He can't come in here. He's not allowed in here." I said, "Okay, well, he wants something to eat. I want to give him something to eat." So I said, "What did you do to these women?" So I make them step outside. I said, "What did you do? Why won't they serve you?" I said, "Tell me what you want." So he tells me a meal and a couple of extra pieces of chicken and all these other things. So I go back into the restaurant and I proceed to tell him his order. I said, "Whatever he wants, I'll get it." So I proceed to tell him his order. And they said, "He asked for all that?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Whatever you want, I'll get it to him if he's hungry." And she says, "Well, he doesn't need all that. He doesn't need all that. He could get a meal and something to drink." So I said, "Okay, well, just get him the meal and something to drink, and I'll give it to him." I said, She said, "If you get him the chicken or the extra macaroni and cheese, he's going to sell it. He's going to sell it." So I thought about who would buy macaroni and cheese off a homeless person, but hey, I guess there's a market for everything. So, so he's going to sell it. So we're waiting for the food, and the women in the restaurant proceeded to have a conversation about this gentleman who's obviously homeless and most likely on drugs. And I said, "Well, what did he do?" She said, "He's not allowed in here." And he says, he's always walking up and down the street, and he's always asking for money, and he's this," and they're going on and on and on. And they said, "He's probably on drugs." And then by that time, another person walks in, and a customer walks in, and she joins in the conversation. And she says, "I know him. I grew up with him, and he gets a check every month, and he shouldn't be out there." And I said, well, I'm giving unto him. I don't care what he does with it. If I give him macaroni and cheese, if he sell it, whatever. I'm doing this to honor God. I don't care what he does with it. He's asking me for help. I'm giving him help, even though I decided not to get the macaroni and cheese. She says, "He's out there every month, and he gets a check." And I said, "You know what? If he's on drugs," I said, "I have family members that are on drugs." And I said, "If my family member was out there, I would want somebody to help them if they ask for something to eat. He's asking for something to eat." So the customer goes on, and she said, "Well, I have 20 years. I was out there." So to make a long story short, I got him his food. I gave him his food. He was grateful, and I walked along my way. So I thought about the event yesterday and kind of let it marinate today. And during this COVID time, during this time of civil unrest and racial unrest and all the things that are going on in the world, the desperation that's in the world, we still have people, including myself, who was earlier, 3 weeks ago, who are still lack compassion and lack empathy for people who are less fortunate than us. Now, 3 weeks ago, when I was with my friend and that other person walked up to me, I was like, oh, don't come next to me. I don't have anything for you. But however, fast forward the other day when I was in the restaurant, I was able to have empathy for this young man and buy him a meal because I thought about someone I know personally. I had empathy for them because I said, I have family members that use drugs. If somebody was out there, I would want them to help them. So I point that out to point this out. We're all human. We all have duality. We're not all perfect. I judged the first person and I didn't want to help them because I did not see myself in that situation. I couldn't relate. Later, because I thought about a family member, I was able to help that other person who needed my assistance. So I'm saying that to say this. Be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to learn and allow yourself to grow. And if you find yourself lacking empathy or being cold and callous, think about how it would be if the person you're being cold and callous towards was someone you knew personally or was a family member. That is empathy. Because I was able to be empathetic, I thought about that family member. I was able to be empathetic toward that young man who needed that meal. So this is Ms.B, the goddess of empathy. The name is for you, but the title is for me. You can just call me Ms.B. My goal is to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers so that I can start to monetize and to increase my social media awareness. I am the CEO of Empathy Empowers. Empathy Empowers. You guys have a beautiful and blessed day. I need you to put your comments down, and I want you guys to continue the conversation in the comments. Have you helped someone who was homeless? Do you not give people who are homeless money? Just want to know, during these times, before and after, what do you do? How do you help people who are less fortunate than you, who are in public? All right, guys, hope that wasn't too long. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful, blessed day. This is Ms.B, the goddess of empathy, signing off.